Hello and welcome back to Explain the Charts. Today, July 17th, 2025, we're diving into the S&P 500 SPY to analyze the current market landscape, combining both recent news and technical chart analysis. First, let's address some key news events. The market has been juggling tariff concerns, earnings reports, and inflation data. President Trump's tariff threats on the EU, Mexico, and Russia are looming, causing some market volatility. Investors are also closely watching for the June CPI report, expecting it to show faster price increases. Additionally, we're at the start of the second quarter earnings season, with major U.S. banks reporting results this week. These factors are definitely influencing market sentiment. Now, let's move to the charts and see how these events are reflected in the price action. Here's the daily chart for SPY. We can see a recent period of upward movement followed by a dip on July 17, 2025. The S&P 500 price is struggling and showing consolidation. Before that, the S&P 500 had been consistently making gains, but the recent tariff news and anticipation of earnings reports might be contributing to the current uncertainty. The index reached to about 627 before the current price, which is about 556, which shows there is a large gap down and bearish momentum. Let's zoom into a smaller time frame, switching to the 1-hour chart to get a clearer picture of the recent price action. On the 1-hour chart, we observe a descending trend, where lower lows and lower highs are forming, indicating a short-term bearish trend. We can clearly see the last several hours were forming a lower channel, but we should keep an eye out for it to reverse. We can see the 622 price being a high point before it hit the 556 price point. On the 1-hour chart, we're seeing it bounce and try to form back up to previous levels. Now let's see it closer on a 15-minute scale, on July 16th. We can see the market struggling with its highs and lows. We saw prices go as high as 627 and struggle down to where we were today at 556. The market has a large gap to recover but is showing strength. We're seeing indecision in short-term moves, and it'll be an important time to see how the market reacts to important news. Zooming out to the one-day timeframe chart again, it appears that 622 acted as a key resistance level. Prices struggled to go above it. On the other hand, looking back on our earlier timeline, we can see a period around April where 500 served as a strong support level. Currently, the most important level to look for will be at 500 if the price makes it that low, where we should anticipate a strong buying pressure at that point. Otherwise, the recent point of resistance at 622, which will determine if we're bouncing back up or down. The current price point of 556 is an important consolidation area. So, what's the outlook? Well, let's summarize the key points. The S&P 500 faces uncertainty due to tariff threats and upcoming earnings reports. Key price levels to watch are the resistance at 622 and a strong support at 500. If the price breaks the current consolidation, expect volatility. Keep an eye on those earnings reports and inflation data, as they could be major catalysts for a market move. That's all for today's analysis on Explain the Charts. Happy trading and see you next time.